okay, I get it that Laura Croft is a badass, and I get it that she can pull off incredible feats that are never seen by man, woman, and child. But in the last episode, she was in an apartment with Zip, and that apartment legitimately blew up. Like, it blew up with both of them in it. And the explosion was so big to the point where the neighboring blocks, like 5 blocks from their location, was destroyed and turned into rubble and turned into ash. How the hell did Laura and Zip survive? But that's that's Laura Croft for you. Tomb Raider, episode 4, Big Lies, Small Secrets, starts right now. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Icon, going over another Netflix review for you, that Laura Croft Tomb Raider. And before we get started, hit that notification bell, like and subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. So they survived the blast. I don't know how they survived the blast, but once they survive the blast, Laura's just like, the thief's name is Devereaux. So she's just like, I have to find Devereaux because he's looking for the other gems, because there are 4 gems, and if you put all 4 gems together, like, it creates a power that'll destroy the world. And the light is the people that killed Devereaux daddy, so now he's trying to get revenge for his daddy. So Laura's trying to find him, and she needs to find the rest of the jewels as well. After talking to Zip, she's just like, I want you to go home, Zip. And then he's like, no. He was like, first of all, you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy, you can't tell me what to do. And he said that you need me, Laura. He's like, I'm your friend, and I'm going to be here whether you want me here or not. And then she was like, of course I need you. That's why I need you to go home. And then he's just like, all right, cool. I don't know if he actually went home or just like got another hotel and just like monitored her from like where his hotel was. But she said that in order for her to find Devereaux, she needs to also investigate the other 2 gems, because that's what he's looking for. And the only person who would have information about that is an Interpol agent. And that's when Zip was just like, well, how are you going to talk to an Interpol agent and get information? And she's like, oh, simple, because the Interpol agent is Camilla Roth's daughter. And we get a little backstory with them because Laura broke into her house, jumped on her computer. I don't know how she got into her files, and she started looking up information. Camilla came home, and then she saw Laura. The 2 of them got into a little fight before they realized it was each other. And then it was just like, oh my God. She's like, Laura, it's you. And she's like, hello, Camilla. And she's like, I need information. And then she's like, what else is new? But she's like, I work for Interpol, so I'll get you anything you need. And then the 2 of them basically started having like conversation, but it was, I don't know, it was like hinted, there was some tension between the 2 of them, and we didn't find out what the tension was about. The way it came across was almost like the 2 of them dated at one point and then one of them left the other, but that turned out not to be the case, because I was like, for the love of God, if the 2 of them used to be romantic and used to have a love interest, unless it turns out that Camilla is the leader of the light, like, I'm like, I really don't care. But it was actually just a friendship. It was like a misunderstanding over their friendship. But they ended up, Camilla was just like, she was like, screw it. She's like, I'll still help you because you're my people. So they find out that there was a church that Devereaux used to, he used to be at all the time, where his dad actually used to run the church. So the 2 of them go down and investigate the church. And while they're at the church, they're just like, well, the light purchased this church, but they don't use it, which means there has to be some hidden catacombs, like somewhere beneath. They go under the church, and there are hidden caverns and hidden caves. They also find out information where Devereaux's father used to run that church, and the light wanted him to sell. He said no, so that's why they killed his daddy. And because Devereaux was there, like, because his dad like ran that church, he used to go through the church. He used to live in the church. He used to go through all the different caverns, all the different things, so he knows every inch of the church. The church had photos, like hieroglyphics and photos and everything, that told a story about the gold box. The church used to be the possessors of the gold box, but there were other members of the church that were corrupted by the power, and they wanted the power for themselves, so they turned on Devereaux, they turned on the other church members, killed them, and that's how the light was formed. The light was formed because it was a group of people that basically wanted the power for themselves. So now Laura's just like, she's kind of sympathizing with Devereaux a little bit, because, and then like she's trying to figure out his plan, but she kind of knows his plan because she said, shit, me and him did have the same type of childhood. Both of our fathers were killed due to like criminal organizations. And she said, I know what he's thinking now, and I know exactly what he's going to do, because I would do the same thing. And then there was a moment where like this hallucinogenic smoke filled up the caverns, and then that's when Laura started seeing like these birthomets, shout out Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was making her go through like some things in her mind where she was seeing like herself as a child, her being told that she stole Roth from Camilla, which is why Camilla doesn't like her, because she stole her daddy. Situations where you hear Jonah's voice and you hear Zip's voice saying like, oh, Laura, like, you know, you need us. And then Roth's voice saying you don't need anybody, you should be on your own. And she was battling with this because she was struggling, you know, with those feelings about whether or not she should embrace friendship or if she should go it alone herself. And then Camilla, she was able to figure out about the gas, and she was able to pump the gas out of the vents. And then she was like talking to Laura. She's like, come on, Laura. She's like, you know, like, just listen to my voice. I'm your friend. She was like, yeah, Jonah's always there for me, even though I treat him like shit. You know, she was just like, Zip's always there for me, even when I'm wrong. And she's like, Camilla, you're my friend. And then she snapped out of it. And then her and Camilla together ended up killing the Berthomets, which was basically light followers. But they couldn't see that because the gas made them hallucinate and like see other things. And then after that, they were just like, they looked at the pictures on the wall, and then it was determined that Devereaux never had the light killed him because they thought he had the box, and Devereaux never had the box. So they were just like, oh, they did all this for nothing. But then they found out, Laura found out that the gold box is actually in Iran. So now she's off to Iran to go, you know, retrieve Jonah and to go get the box. And that was where it, that was where the action portion of it ended. And then finally, right before Laura left, she said to Camilla, she was just like, oh, she was like, why did you leave all those years ago without saying goodbye? And then she was like saying goodbye. She was like, you're the one that left, you know, that wanted me to go. And then she was like, your father said that, you know, like you didn't want to be around me and you hated me and you wanted to leave. She said, my daddy told me that I needed to go home to be with my mother. And then that's when they realized Roth lied to them both. And then they embraced each other, they hugged. And then Camilla was just like, oh, you're my best friend forever. And she was like, yo, don't be a stranger. She's like, I'll help you any way that I can. She better not be the leader of the light, because that's going to be really sad. And then the two of them did this thing where they did a fist bump. They did the gun and put it back in the holster, did a little spin. That was cute. But that was friendship. You know, friendship has been mended. And now Laura's, you know, better at like embracing, like Camilla embracing, you know, Zip, embracing Jonah, because Jonah's still captured. And then we see in the next scene, because Devereaux was like light years ahead of Laura as far as like what they have to do. So he's already in Iran. He's still controlling Jonah with the green with the green emerald power. And now both Jonah and Devereaux, they're on the search to find the gold box. That's how this particular episode ended, and thank you for tuning in. So this was a cool episode, but again, unless Camilla actually serves a purpose later on down in the season, I mean, it was almost a filler episode, because without all the Camilla stuff, Laura's basically going into the cavern. She's reading the pictures on the wall. She's like, oh, he's in Iran. And then she gets on a plane and then goes to Iran. Thank you for tuning in. So, but, you know, that was great. But, I mean, Camilla was there just to act like they're adding more characters, and that's fine. You know, because the whole thing is like Laura trying to be a loner, but they're bringing us people in her life that tries to show her you don't have to go it alone. You do have people around you, and it's not worth it to be a hermit. But share your questions, comments, and or concerns down below. I'm still enjoying this. I'm still loving this. Like I said, we're halfway there. You know, 8 episodes. We're halfway through. So let's see how the other 4 unfold, and we'll continue to talk about a little Tomb Raider. So check me out on X. Check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, where you can leave your questions, comments, and concerns. Let me know what you thought about this particular episode of Tomb Raider. Let me know what you thought about the series so far and where we go from here. So until next time, guys, check out my other reviews, because I got the Penguin up on my channel. I got Agatha all along. Like I said, we're doing Tomb Raider right now, and I got Superman and Lois for everybody. And next week, we're also going to New York Comic Con. So until next time, guys, for some more Tomb Raider action, take care, don't breathe in the gas, because you'll see your worst nightmares. And we're out this